Okay, welcome back to the O&D Life. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're going to be doing our first interview. It's with Austin Roberts from LogOX, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Give you a little insight into their company, as well as some of the products that they have that I've featured on the channel, the LogOX Log Hauler. But then there's a few other products on the website that we'll be talking about today. So I think you guys will enjoy it. When we get into it, there was a section where we had a little technical difficulties, and I'm actually going to be editing in the video because the audio didn't get put in there. But this actually gave me a chance to do a proper intro in a sense. And one of the things that came up during the interview is Austin himself was in the military, and as we got to talking, time flew by, and I had every intention to thank him for his service. So this kind of gives me that opportunity to thank you for your service, Austin. I appreciate it. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to let the video play. Okay, welcome everyone to O&D Life. We're just starting off some interviews with some of the people that I've worked with before in the past and featured their products on the station channel before in the past. So today we have Austin Roberts with LogOX, and we want to just kind of go over some of the products that they have. It's been a while since I did my video. It's it's probably been well over a year.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, definitely. So anyways, with the everything going on in the world right now and people able to get out, I found that I was seeing a lot of interviews, and I thought, you know what, that might be a great thing for the channel, especially since there aren't all these trade shows going on. So it might be another way that people are just going to start doing business.
Yeah.
So with that, welcome, Austin, and I'll give you the floor for a minute to just say hi to everyone.
Well, thanks for having me. It's great. I'm honored to be here on the show and the O&D Life. And so as you mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders of LogOX. And we founded this company back in 2016. I was on active duty in the Army as an Army officer for 8 years. My time finished up there, and I was getting out looking for something to do. And so basically around the same time, my father had been working on a design for an innovative new product to help him be able to essentially load a log splitter, which we'll show in the video here in a second, without bending over and hurting his back. And then along with that, he added some additional attachments to help making bucking logs with his chainsaw a lot easier by rolling over the logs and propping them up with a cant hook and a timber jack. So he had this idea, and he was sort of putting around with that and trying a bunch of different prototypes. He'd been working on this thing for probably 5-10 years or so. It seemed like he was always trying to perfect it. Fortuitously, right around the same time that I was looking at getting out of the military, and he had actually been laid off from his job in July of 2016, just sort of out of the blue in a corporate restructuring. He had gotten a patent in 2015 for it, and had worked with a company called Swisher out in Missouri to do contract manufacturing of it. So it was already sort of set in place to do that, and it was sort of just a fledgling business. And we basically launched it at the TCIA show in 2016, which is the first big launch of Tree Care Industry Association show that they had in Baltimore, which is actually where it's going to be again this year. And we launched it there, had really great response to it. It was just one of these tools that immediately kind of caught on. And so when I got out in December of 2016, I said, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm looking for a job, and I'll help you guys out in this sort of like side project. And my dad at the time was still looking for a job and everything else. And we just, as a family, kind of got together and continued to just push this and go to more shows. It was picked up and featured on a number of different YouTube channels like Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. Life in Farmland did a video in November of 2017. You probably saw it has over 830,000 views at this point. And so we're just very blessed by just the response that people had for the tool, and then we've grown a lot since then. Coming up with some different designs for firewood carriers, and firewood racks and stuff like that. So it's been an adventure. So about halfway through, 3/4 of the way through 2017, we all stopped looking for separate jobs and started doing this full time. And we've been doing it as a family unit, working with the LogOX ever since.
That is really cool. And I remember reading somewhere, or I can't remember where I heard it or saw it, but I think it used to be on maybe your website before, something to the effect that necessity is the mother of all invention. And I think your dad then added to that back pain was the father.
Father, yeah, dude, yeah, no, absolutely.
And so I completely agree that it's a back saver. So
yeah, we're from Vermont, and we grew up doing this kind of. I grew up doing this kind of stuff. We heat with firewood. We built a company around basically things that we would want to use ourselves that would help us out. And John inventing these things to basically as a sort of a necessity mother invention kind of thing. It's like I leave home, I go off to college, and he's got to lug the logs around himself, so he has to figure out a way to do it. He's an engineer by trade, so it just kind of came second nature. I got to figure out some sort of contraption to help myself out to do this, and that's how the LogOX was born, really. I wish you'd invented it when I was a kid, and I could have used it then, helping them out with their wood.
It wasn't necessary then.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't necessary yet. Same thing with the WoodOX sling. I was the LogOX. I was carrying it up out of the basement. Now mom and dad have to. So again, same idea. That's
right. Then they figured out another way.
Yeah, it was like Dad bought a riding lawnmower as soon as I left for college. I had to had the old push one that was going up and down the hills with him. He buys a riding lawnmower the second I leave.
Funny. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and roll the initial video. Let me get set up here. I think everybody knows that I'm new to using this, so it'll take me just a second to get it up onto the screen here, and let me rewind it a little. It's about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And
hi, I'm Austin Roberts with the LogOX, and welcome to our family woodlot. Today I'd like to introduce you to a revolutionary new forestry tool.
The patented LogOX 3-in-1 Forestry Multi-Tool is the perfect chainsaw, sawmill, and log splitter assistant. Harvesting firewood is a tradition and a business for many families, but repeatedly bending over to move log rounds, swing a pulp hook, or load a log splitter can cause painful strain on your lower back and even lead to serious injury. The hauler's patented hook design securely engages log rounds on the ground, allowing you to quickly move, lift, and release them without straining to bend over. We guarantee you'll feel the difference the first time you use it. The custom-made hauler holster is a great accessory to have when operating a log splitter. A sturdy cant hook has been a must-have forestry tool for over 160 years, allowing you to move logs onto a portable sawmill or roll logs to complete chainsaw cuts. By itself, the LogOX hauler makes a great cant hook. For larger logs, simply attach the cant handle extension to the hauler and create a 38-inch long cant hook. In order to protect your chainsaw when cutting smaller logs, connect the T-bar attachment to create a sturdy timber jack, which can move and lift logs off the ground prior to cutting. Treetops create a lot of brush. Centralize them by using the LogOX as a brush hauler. Made in the USA of hollow frame American steel, this ruggedly compact tool adjusts to fit your needs. Measuring just 28 inches long when disassembled, the LogOX is also easy to transport and store. Add custom accessories like the PickOx Pickaroon attachment for even more versatility. At 1/3 the price of buying 3 separate tools, the LogOX has tremendous value and is backed by a lifetime warranty. Put the LogOX to work for you this year. Thanks for watching, and remember, at LogOX, we've got your back.
And that right there is our social media handle. People can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Big Blue LogOX.
Okay, great. And I'll tell you what, even though I don't cut a lot of wood for heating, I just storm cleanup, we have going down all the time. I mean, it's a lifesaver.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have a lot of folks, up here, especially in the Northeast, the emerald ash borer. I don't know if you folks have that down south, but it's just wreaking havoc with trees, and a lot of these large ash trees, which are great for firewood, unfortunately, are coming down. So we have a lot of folks who are doing that, and actually Lowe's, we sell the tool through the Home Depot online and Lowe's online, Tractor Supply Company, but and over 24 other ones now online. And Lowe's actually did a video about storm cleanup, and they featured the LogOX in their video. We have a link to that on our YouTube channel.
Okay,
so that was pretty cool to see, because they called us one day. They're like, "Hey, can you send us out one of those LogOX things? We got a video coming up. We'd like to use it in the production." So we sent them out one.
Cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah. But we get a lot of folks who never heat with firewood at all, but they own property. They need to maintain trails or things like that, and they use it for that. It's great.
And landscape timbers or ties, I've used it for moving big poles of wood, real long beams, things like that.
Yep.
It's great.
Utility poles, stuff like that, being able to roll it. Yeah, it's great.
We had a storm 2 weeks ago, and I took it up to neighbors. They had a tree that went down, and they were loving it. So
Nice.
I wouldn't be surprised if they picked one up, one of the older guy, and so he could definitely use it to save his back as well.
Now, letting buddies use your LogOX is the #1 cause of LogOXs going missing. So just make sure you hold on to it.
I did make sure and got it back. I kept an eye on it.
Give him that O&D life code and hook him up.
That's right. Now, you have a new product for bringing the wood in, and you sent me a link. Do you want to say something about that?
Sure. Yeah. I'd be happy to introduce that. Yeah. So with the LogOX, I mean, one of the things that is so useful about it is that it's ergonomic, and as you know, it reduces the strain in your back. And so, long story short, we teamed up with a team out of Fairfield University, their School of Engineering, and basically gave them the LogOX and said, "Hey, we have a feeling that this is going to reduce strain on your lower back, on your arms, and your legs when you're picking it up, moving logs, loading a log splitter. Can you guys do any kind of, experiments, ergonomic testing of this, and be able to kind of quantify it and scientifically prove what our claims are here as a company?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So they used what they call BioPack, which is like an electromyography machine, and essentially hooks people up to the muscles up to electrical diodes. It measures how much the electrical output of the muscles, therefore figures out how much strain is the muscles are under while they're moving, and then compares picking up a log round, moving a log round with just by hand versus using the LogOX hauler. And what they found with it is that they found up to a 93% reduction in lower back strain using the hauler to pick up and move log rounds, an 86% reduction in actually quadricep strain, which we were kind of surprised of. Picking it up, moving it from point A to point B, because you've got it nicely balanced by your side, you're not holding it in front of you, walking along, putting a lot of strain in your legs. And then a 76% reduction in arm strain and bicep strain from lifting and moving it. So because as you sort of just have, you sort of straight arm it, you pick it up and straight arm it, swing it up onto your splitter, and that's it. So just a huge reduction. So that ergonomic study actually got published in the Journal of Innovative Ideas and Engineering Technology in October of 2019. There's a link to it on our blog. You can see the full study if you care to. So we realized too that essentially there wasn't an ergonomic solution for moving firewood indoors. So you got, we saved your back once in the woods when you were splitting it all up and processing the firewood. But then you've got to, what I had, growing up was either carried in by the arm load or you fill up a bag, right? It's 2 handles and it kind of pulls you over to one side. It's very awkward. It bounces off your legs, especially if you're moving upstairs and stuff like that. You can trip over it. It's a real pain. And again, it's something that John had to do now. So he wanted to figure out a way to fix that. And so what he came up with was a design that, like the LogOX, we got patented and approved. It's now patented in the US, Canada, Europe, and Australia. And essentially what it does is, you'll see in the video, is a strap that goes across your body. Your arm goes through a hole in the side of it, and it creates a space underneath your arm that you grab logs right off your pile, put it into the WoodOX sling, and then the weight of the wood kind of locks it into place. And so there's actually very little weight on this arm whatsoever. It's just sort of locking into place. It's distributing the weight across your body. And so it is, again, a very ergonomic alternative to what else is out there, which is the totes and the bags. And of course, carrying it by hand keeps all the dirt and debris off your body, and it's a lot cleaner and just a lot easier to do.
And just in the videos that I've watched, it like you said, it just kind of locks it in. You're really not having to lift it, hold it, squeeze it.
No.
So.
No. Yeah, no, the weight of it kind of, it basically, the weight of the wood itself holds it in place. And you're able to take it directly off your pile and put it into it. And so you're not bending over to put stuff into the bag that's sitting on the ground. And then when you have to unload it, you can just take it directly out and put it into, whatever kind of rack you have, or set aside your fireplace. And again, you're not bending over and doing that again. So there's some additional benefits of that as well. And then when you're walking with it, it's just balanced. Your spine is just straight up and down. And you're walking with it. You're not pulled off to a side. And we even threw in a little LED flashlight on there for good measure, so you can just flip that on and see what you're doing when it gets dark around like 3:30, 4 o'clock in Vermont in the wintertime. So that's handy. That's handy as well. As far as I know, there's nothing else like that out there.
Genius! It's those little that are so important.
Again, necessity is the mother of invention, man.
Yep, definitely.
And when you do it enough, you just do it day in and day out, you come up with those little innovations. And, being in Vermont, we don't have a lot to do. So you just come up with stuff.
Yeah. Right. Okay, well, I'm going to roll the footage of the WoodOX sling. I will mention that the sound was kind of down on this, but it is all subtitled down there. So really, you're not missing a whole lot.
That's John right there, the inventor of all that, my dad.
That right. I mean, it's so simple and easy to use, and just solves that problem for being able to easily take the strain off of your back and your arm, and where it kind of carries itself. It reminds me of the those forearm forklifts to move. Have you seen those?
Yeah, or like a paper bag too, like kind of like a paper boy pulling out and tossing.
Right.
Tossing these papers. Yeah, same kind of idea.
Yeah. So, great concept, and like you said, it just fits the need again. So
yeah, and we've been using it for the past 2 winters ourselves, and it's just everybody who uses it. We get a bunch of reviews on our website now, but everybody who uses it just remarks how much easier it is. I mean, it's kind of a combination between a crossbody messenger bag and an arm sling. It's the sort of same sort of ergonomics, that principles that work there and work with that. It's just it's a lot easier to use.
Okay, and what I wanted to do was just bring up. I had your website up over here, and so anyone could go on over to the website to find the products. Mm-hmm. Do you want to take a minute to talk about these the Forester package? Kind of sure. What all you get. It's not just the log haul. And then I think you wanted to talk about the Earthbend as well.
Yeah, we'll touch base on that one as well. So our most popular products are at the top of the website, and the 3-in-1 Forestry Multi-Tool is basically the hauler, which you sort of see that part up there in the top left. And that by itself is a really useful cant hook to roll smaller logs over. If you're working with just a bunch of smaller logs, you're going to be working with, you can just take that out with you in the woods. But where it really shines is lifting log rounds and moving them from point A to point B. You do that a lot faster without bending over because you're not stopping and stooping and wasting time bending over and picking them up and moving them. And then when it comes time to actually split them, is the real benefit of this is to be able to grab it off the ground, put it onto the log splitter, operate your log splitter, and just keep picking them up, because it's that repetitive over and over bending that really puts a lot of strain on the back. So that's initially what John kind of came up with it for, is just continually bending over and loading a splitter is what really hurts you. The handle extension there slides, as you can see in the kind of the photo there to the left. It slides through the top of the handle there. There's sort of an opening there. It slides through there, attaches with a clevis pin. There's no tools that are required to put it all together. So it's just a standard clevis and hairpin. It locks it right into place. And then you have a cant hook, a 38-inch cant hook. You're able to roll the larger logs over, about 32 inches or so in diameter. Just make your cuts halfway through, 3/4 of the way through down the length of the log, stroke length cuts, roll it over, finish your cuts. And you're not going to pinch your bar. You're not going to, bind your bar, run your chain into the dirt. Same idea with the timberjack. The smaller stuff up to about 12 inches or so in diameter. Basically, what you do is you pop the timberjack T-bar in the bottom. Oh, there you go. Yeah, pop that right on there, and you're able to use it as essentially as the fulcrum. The handle is your lever, and you pull it back, and it creates a nice solid cutting platform. Yeah, it slides right in there. And again, no tools are required. There are some hybrids out there that essentially take like four little, it takes like an Allen wrench and four little nuts and screws, and you just basically put it on and never take it apart. This is easy to pop on and pop off, and as long as you push the hairpins all the way through, they're never going to fall out. You're not going to lose them.
And it is robust. It is extremely robust. So.
Yeah, we make it in the United States. We make our slogan is American Tools for Woodsman. We've trademarked that, and that's our policy as a company. Everything that we make, everything you see on our website, everything that bears our name and logo, will be made in the United States as long as we're a company. And the LogOX there is guaranteed for life. Any kind of structural defect, if we're to break or something. But we're very confident of that because it's made of hollow frame American steel, and it's robust.
It is. It is.
Yeah. But it only weighs the whole thing only weighs about 12 pounds. The hauler itself only weighs 6. So it's definitely light enough for you to use pretty easily.
Absolutely. And the extension handle here, I went ahead and put the Picaroon, the pickox. Yeah.
The pickox. Yeah.
On. But I mean, just with that off, I tell you what, that my wife wouldn't need a baseball bat. She could use this.
There you go. A Picaroon has its place. We essentially invented the LogOX hauler to replace our pulp hook, which is what we were using. Some people use a Picaroon for the same thing. Stick it and pick it up. Picaroon has its place. Like if you're unloading the back of a trailer or something like that, and you don't want to climb in and crawl around in there, you can use it to reach and pull stuff towards you. Or if you have a wood processor, you don't want to stick your hands in there. It's good to lock in and sort of wiggle stuff free. So there's a lot of good uses for it. So basically what we do is we made it a 4-in-1 tool. And as you see on the Forester pack there, it comes with the Forester package. It turns into a 4-in-1 tool because you add that little Picaroon attachment. It fits in your pocket or in one of the pockets of that bag there. And then it just attaches to the handle, like you said, using that same exact clevis pin that you used to attach it to the hauler. And now you have a 4th tool. So. Which brings me to the Forester package. So it includes everything in the 3-in-1, but it also includes the pickox, and then the hauler holster is handy just because when you're operating a log splitter, you don't want to be picking up using your hauler to pick up the log round and then having to put it back down on the ground and defeat the purpose. So essentially, just goes on your belt, which we also sell a great professional grade work belt. Goes on your belt to your preferred side, and then you can just set the hauler there as you operate your log splitter. And then pick it back up and keep going. So we joke that's the second thing that John invented was that hauler, the hauler holster, just so you would have to keep putting the hauler on the ground. And then that bag, same company that makes the WoodOX Sling Force. It's now made out of natural canvas. It's heavy duty 18-ounce natural canvas. Thing's a tank, and it's really great. And it all fits in there. You can actually put your chainsaw chaps and some additional PPE. There's a lot of extra room in there too. So what's great about it, you see it in one of the, some of the videos, we made the handles long enough that you can wear it over your backpack or your shoulder like a backpack. So basically where else? Yeah.
And that's what I love is that everything has a purpose or dual purpose to actually be used by people.
Yeah.
The holster, the holster there is just genius because, like you said, having to set it down and it falls down. Well, now you're bending over again and to have to pick up your tool.
Yeah, I really think that the best tools and the best products are designed and developed by people who actually use them. They're not developed in a boardroom somewhere. It's like everything has been tweaked and used and field tested by us and our friends and other professionals and people. We've really grown a sort of a network of people who, whenever we come up with new stuff, we send them out these products to like really torture test and give us feedback on. So that's been really cool about this whole process as we've grown as a company. So it's all stuff, that people who do that kind of work would want to use, and we really tweaked it and perfected it. So it's definitely a part of our company. Our company ethos is testing and using everything that we make.
Yeah. Now you had wanted to talk about this new Earthbend.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's click on it and kind of give people a little better view of it.
Yeah, so we rolled that out late last year, and what's unique about this, and you can kind of see in that photo there, is we have a narrow hearth. It's only about 11 inches, and so between the front of the hearth and the wall of the fireplace next to the actual fireplace itself, and so usually what we do is we take like 3 or 4 big pieces of wood and just kind of set them on the ground. And we've a rug in front of it. You set them on the ground, you sort of like pile them up. It's a little bit awkward because you saw in that video, John and Lynn have that sort of opening there where we stack up a whole bunch of wood, right, and store it. But for overnight, like 3 o'clock in the morning, if the fire starts to go out and you want to go and add another log or two. So anyway, so that was kind of messy, and John thought that was sort of inefficient. And the problem he was having is that all other firewood racks are, a fixed dimension, right? And so they would kind of hang over the edge, and it just wouldn't fit right. So what he did was he came up with this, and it's got 2 free floating wings, if you will, that can go out to 45 degrees or directly straight up to 90 degrees. So you can push it directly up against that back wall, and the other one is out. And if you skim through the photos there, you'll see a good example. Or it could be used as kind of a standalone. That next one down there. Yeah, it's like 2 photos down. Yep. So it comes apart, and you can store it away at the end of the year. But yeah, you can see on that one that the wings come directly out of it, and it stores back into its little box. So it's very very compact, especially if you got like a tiny home or a cabin or something like that. You can also have it as a standalone if you've got like a Franklin stove out in the middle of a room. Just put it right next to it, and both. You really put a lot of wood into it. You fit about 2 WoodOX slingfuls of wood, and you can see in that photo directly below it's got a slot where you can either store your WoodOX sling, which is a nice place to put your sling, or you could store kindling or matches or whatever else you want to store. That's probably room for both, really.
Oh.
So we're trademarking the name from harvest to hearth, and we're trying to through developing our own tools and things of that nature, to also bringing on other great American-made companies like Swisher, Granberg International Chainsaw Mills. You can see on the front page. We just recently also brought on Hudson Mills. They're scroll down just slightly. Yes. Yeah, right there. We just brought in Hudson Portable Sawmills. They make their Homesteader edition. They make a great setup of portable sawmills that are high quality and very affordable. And then we also, you'll be interested in this, we also just brought on Big Tool Rack. We've got a couple of things from them. One is a sort of a tool holder that mainly is used for their Big Tool Rack accessory. I'll have to introduce you to Tim sometime. I think you'd have a good time talking with him, the guy who owns Big Tool Rack. He's a great guy.
And I've emailed with him a little bit.
Okay.
I do have one of his Big Tool Racks.
Okay, great.
I could see how it's a perfect pair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're expanding. Yeah. So they're expanding their lineup of. So we only have a couple of things from them now, but they're expanding their lineup of made in the USA products and bringing that back home. And as they do that, we'll continue to expand more and more big tool rack items on our website. So we're very excited about working with them. They're a great growing American company.
That is great. That is great. Now I did notice. Let me see if I can find it here. It's probably on a different screen, and it kind of surprised me. But the coffee mugs, unique LogOX coffee mug.
Sure, yeah. If you go up to
I think I read.
Yes, sir. The pro shop right there. If you click on that, that should bring them up to the top. Yeah, right there. Yeah, those are handmade for us in Minnesota. There's a company called Deneen Pottery out in Minnesota, and they hand make those, and they're glazed, as you can see, in both orange and blue, and they're really pretty heavy duty mugs. I drink my coffee out of pretty much every day. So, yeah, those are great.
Well, and that's what kind of it just oozes manliness from.
They're pretty heavy duty,
yeah. And I think most of us take our coffee serious in the morning. We got to have it. So,
oh yeah.
You can start your day off with a LogOX mug, and I say that because I use a mug every morning, and so you can. I can see how you'd get kind of attached to having a good, robust mug to start your day. So
yeah, no, they're great. We checked out a whole bunch of different like mug companies, around the U.S. and had them send samples and stuff. And the ones that these folks sent were incredible. So we have to work with these guys. And we've really liked having those on the website the last year and a half. And there's you get to some other gear like that, like the hat, like the one that you're wearing right now, and also the professional work belt. That's made actually out of the same kind of leather that we make the holster out of. The same company out in California makes that for us, and that's really handy because you don't want to have have a belt that kind of is sagging or anything like that. So we have that there as well. You can put more stuff on it too. So
great. Now let me go ahead and put a remind people that they can get these products at logox.com. And you know what?
At thelogox.com, yeah.
Yes, thelogox.com. And actually, let me use my other ticker that goes.
There we go.
So you guys are offering a promo code of OD Life. For viewers can save $10 off of a purchase of $75 or more at thelogox.com.
LogOX beat us to that URL. I'm going to get that back from them one of these days and redirect it to us.
That's funny. And that does include free shipping within the continental
US. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on, being my first guest in Life. We did this a recording, so it'll show up. I'm not sure if I'll have it ready to post tomorrow night. I might save it for the next Thursday. I'm going to try and be consistent, having something kind of like must-see TV.
There you go.
Thursday night. So
yeah, it's better than Netflix. Yeah,
that's right. So I appreciate. I'll give you the last word to mention anything to push. And I know that you do have some events coming up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let you kind of take us on out.
Yeah, no. So we, barring any kind of cancellations, that's our schedule, and you can feel free to post that in the description. The one I do definitely want to highlight is in October, and I'll be at the RediExpo in Atlanta, Georgia. I'll be actually speaking at that event. I'll be one of the featured speakers there. And one of the things that you can tell we're very passionate about is made in the United States, products made in the United States, and really empowering people to become entrepreneurs themselves and basically use the same kind of model that we did to build this business, which is pairing up with American companies and American manufacturing producers to bring back good American manufacturing jobs and make products that people here want, need, and then we can start exporting to other countries, and basically reclaim that part of our manufacturing base. So that's one of the things I'll be talking about in my talk, and talk a little bit about how, as a company, we did that. We were able to take it from an idea stage to something that's actually a sustainable company. But yeah, we're very passionate about helping other Americans become entrepreneurs and grow sustainable businesses that they can be proud of, and bring manufacturing back to the United States.
Amen
So
to
that'll
that.
so that'll be at the RediExpo in Atlanta, Georgia. So.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again, and good luck to you. And so everyone, all my viewers, please go check out thelogox.com and help support a great American family. The time flew by. I'm going to try and limit it like we were talking. We actually still went over, but you guys couldn't be supporting a greater company. So thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Greg. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
You're welcome. Okay, so that was the first interview. Hope you guys liked it. I'm going to have links to the videos that we showed in the description down below, a link to their website, and a link to, well, a couple other links, a link to the research, the published article that Austin was talking about. And then I'm also going to include a link to the channel that he mentioned, and it's where I first saw the LogOX, Life in Farmland. It's a beautifully done video. I mentioned it in my original LogOX video. I'm going to put a link in there. That family has come on to some hard times. Eric is needing, he's a diabetic, needing some serious medical work coming up here, and they have a GoFundMe page, and I'm going to include that in the description as well. I know Austin LogOX had a link to their GoFundMe on their Facebook page, and so I know he won't mind us doing this as well, supporting Eric, part of the LogOX family, I guess you could say. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the thumbs up, share it with someone that you think might like it, or share it to someone who, might be looking for a Father's Day present or a birthday present, Christmas present, something coming up. And comment below. I'm sure if you have any questions, I might be able to answer them, or Austin might be in the comments there, being able to answer some questions. And if it doesn't look like he's answered any, I can send him an email and get you an answer if we needed to. So thanks again. Have a great night.